out on board. And this is the first of Saturday's regattas, the ladies' race for the Stagnetto trophy, and just two crews in contention. Calpe to the right of your picture, Med to the left. Rather choppy waters. Representing Calpe, it was Emma Vella, a stroke, then Ruth de Ruya, Stacey Grech, and Anne Vella, Keith Bautista, the cocks in that boat, and a very clear lead approaching the closing stages over the Med crew, which comprised Joanne Alger, stroke, Tamara Viagas, Christine Haviland, and Natalie Wall. Sigurd Haviland being the cocks in that particular boat. And the Med crew certainly seeming to miss Jeddah Figueras. That was one change which had been forced into that boat. But Calpe rowing very strongly and much, much better on the day than their Med counterparts. A lot of clear water as they come into the extension jetty, eventually clocking a time of 7 minutes and 31 seconds in, as I say, poor conditions, particularly around the two entrances to the harbour, north and south, where the water was at its choppiest. The Calpe crew finishing strongly, and it's interesting to see the way that the technique of these ladies has improved, as has their experience, and certainly celebrating a well-deserved victory, which, as you can see, was certainly by a very clear margin. Med's time in second position, 8 minutes and 11 seconds, but coming through looking a lot more tired, a much slower rate. Just finishing off that regatta, and a good start for Calpe for the weekend. They haven't had the best of seasons so far, and this must have put them in rather better cheer, as there were still 3 regattas to be rowed. One more on Saturday, as I say. This was for the Gibraltar International Festival of Music and Performing Arts, the GIFOMAPA trophy, pictures of which we're just seeing at the moment, and then 2 more regattas scheduled for Sunday. But lots of crews participating in this one, no less than 6, 3 from each club, and really it developed very quickly into a race between the crews there at the front, the 2 Med crews, first and second crews, their first crew of Nicky Viñales, Cathal Yates, Tyra Moreno, Gavin Griffin, with Ian McIntosh as cocks, and their second crew strengthened with the arrival of Stuart Bensadon, and giving their first crew a great run for the money, Stuart Bensadon, Paul Buttigieg, James Viñales, Ruben Rodriguez, and Orlando Viñas. Coming into the closing stages, it was anybody's race, but to the right of your picture, that's the first crew, and they had the stronger finish. It was in these closing stages that they forged ahead. Their finishing time was 5 minutes and 57 seconds ahead of their second crew's time of 6 minutes and 2 seconds. Calpe's first crew were third in 6 minutes and 14 seconds. They are Shane Shakaluga, Edmund Bensadong, Nicky Pryor, and Leslie Grech with Keith Bautista as cocks. They'll be just about to come into picture as we see the finish of the Med second crew. There we have the Calpe first crew, 6:14 their time, and a lot of water between them and the next crew in. The Calpe second crew of Dennis Peñarver, Carl De Vincenzi, John Paul Riso, and Alan Darlington with Kieran Aquilina as cocks there. Their time 6 minutes and 32 seconds. And then it was the third crews of Med and Calpe in that order. Med's third crew, 6:41, Calpe's 6:46. And it is good to see so many oarsmen participating in these regattas. The sport certainly seems to have a very rosy future. And that was it as regards the Saturday regattas. We were back at the Mole on Sunday, where the conditions a little bit calmer, they're still a little bit choppy, and we had to change the angle of our shots because of a yacht that was parked alongside the inside of the North Mole, making it difficult for spectators. But these are the shots of the Benatar trophy. 3 boats, the Med first and second crew and the Calpe first crew, pretty tight at the finish, but it was Med's first crew winning in a time of 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Comfortable for them in the end. Very close between Med's second crew and Calpe's first. 1 second the difference was given, 6:27 to Med's second crew, Calpe's first crew clocking 6 minutes and 28.
and these being the same crews, in fact, who had contested the senior regatta the previous evening. But a much better regatta certainly than that one had been, where the winning margin for Med had been much more significant. And then the Med first crew going through to change some of their crew members. There we see them, because they were to participate in the Falquero trophy, a trophy which you can only win once, and this meant that there had to be rearranged oarsmen taking part. Lots of boats, again 6 boats rowing this particular regatta, and it was Med who were to come through with a winning time of 6 minutes 33 seconds. The crew of Cathal Yates, Gavin Griffin, Tyrone Duarte and Carl Barabish with Ian McIntosh. There we see them, centre of your picture, winning comfortably in the end. Ahead of the Calpe's first boat, with Shane Shakaluga, Chris Borge, Dennis Peñarvé and Keith Bautista, Eric Abudaram at the helm. They clocked 6 minutes and 54 seconds. Then it was Med in third position with David King, Felipe João da Silva, Gregory Bonnet and Javier Millan. They clocked 7:03 for third. Calpe coming through fourth again in a time of 7 minutes and 13 seconds, very close from Med's third crew, who clocked 7 minutes and 15. The final Calpe crew clocking 7 minutes and 22 seconds. So certainly an excellent weekend's series of regattas, with most of the oarsmen managing to participate in one regatta or the other, and with the majority of the wins going Med's way. It's certainly shaping up to be a great season for the Med Rowing Club, and no doubt they're looking forward to the next series of regattas in a couple of weeks' time.